Hello, hello, hello. Test, test, test. Cool. Hello, hello, hello. Test, test, test. Cool.
And now I can have stuff on either side.
Yeah. Gives a few tests.
Hello. Hi. Welcome to our cake studio.
Turn it down.
No, that's oh.
Other side.
I don't want to undo it because I have it set up. If I need to tighten this again, I can.
Ready?
Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our cake studio here in Sugar Sisters in Dublin. And I have Andrew behind the camera here.
Test, test, test. Hello, hello, hello.
Andrew whispers. So
I whisper a lot, so. Okay, go live is ready there, and let's try out a thing. So, that one's ready.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining and waiting for us. My name is Emily, and I am in our lovely pink cake studio here in Dublin, and I'm joined with, or we're joined by Andrew here.
Hi guys.
And Andrew is behind the lens. Sometimes he comes in front of the lens if you're lucky. And he just helps with all the comments. So if you have any questions or anything throughout, just put it in the comments below and we will try our best to answer and help you out as we go. And I'm just shutting up my phone there. So yeah, it's been a while since we've been on live. I know we did a live, we have done a live this year. We've did one on a different page, but it's definitely been before Christmas that we did a live here.
Yeah.
So welcome back. So we're going to do some lovely geometric hearts today, and I might show you some other molds as well. I'm going to show you how to create some patterns and some different coloured effects, and we're going to show you a few different fillings as well. So I actually made a red velvet edible cookie dough. So nice and red for Valentine's. We're kind of all Valentine's themed, as you probably see. And I made a lovely Biscoff filling. So I'm going to give you the recipes to all them in the live as well. And while I have you now, if you could all share this live, get all your friends involved, spread the word. I'm going to be giving away loads of tips and tricks today, so it will be great to get a good bunch of you on and show me some support. So yeah, how are we doing?
Yeah, great. So 176 people tuning in.
Excellent.
Leanne saying our screen looks very small. We're trying out the portrait mode in case it looks a
I
bit
didn't say
weird
about
for
that,
you.
yeah. So we've tried putting our cameras into portrait mode so you can actually see more and less of the background, so you'll see more of me and more of what I'm doing. So we're just trialing it out, seeing how it goes. It also it fills your screen. And you might notice as well, maybe the sound sounds a bit better. We've been trying to upgrade our sound, so let us know if you notice a difference on that. And let us know what you think about the portrait mode. We think it's going to be good because you can see more of us and you can see more of what I'm doing and it fills your screen a bit more. So yeah, and I think that's everything.
I have the collection pinned now as well. So
Oh yeah, and Andrew has pinned the collection of pretty much everything I'm going to be using tonight. So you can buy that on our website, which is still up and running, and we're still sending out parcels. Our shop here in Dublin is closed, so it's just me and Andrew here. We live in the same house, so it's all very safe COVID wise. And yeah, right, I think we'll just get straight into it. And
just to say, we're also streaming on YouTube as well.
oh yeah, we're trying out streaming on YouTube as well. So if you're watching us on YouTube, hello. This is our first time, so we don't know how well it's going to go. So it's a bit of an experiment. And yeah, so I'm just going to get straight into it then. So I'm going to show you how to use different types of chocolate. So we're going to be using real chocolate and I'm going to teach you how to temper it. And we're also going to be using a product called Decomelts. There's other brands and versions such as Candy Melts and things like that. They're all the same sort of thing. They don't have cocoa butter in them. They're kind of like a vanilla kind of white chocolate kind of taste, and with them you don't have to temper them. And if you're not familiar with what tempering is, basically you have to do that to real chocolate in order to get that snap and that shine. And also if you don't temper, you can get like this thing called blooming on top, which is like white spots all over your chocolate after it sets, which isn't very nice, especially if you put all that effort into making it really, really pretty. That you don't want that. So tempering is a little bit more complicated, and I don't find it too complicated now that I'm used to it, and you too will go through the same thing. It's just getting used to it basically. So I'm going to teach you a really simple way of doing that, and then if you're feeling lazy, I'll show you how to do the Decomelts as well, because they're still yummy. Kids love them. So I have my chocolate melted already. Whoop. So this is white chocolate, and we have two different brands on our website. I'm just going to tie my hair up, and I should say, like, everything that we make, it's only for me and Andrew, so it's not being sold to anybody. It's only for show for you guys, so don't worry if I touch my hair or anything like that. My hair's clean also. So yeah, so this is the Decomelts, and you probably see straight away that there's a colour difference. So the Decomelts are these guys here, and that's it in the super white, so you can see straight away that it's nice and white. If you're using white chocolate, so the two brands that we have is Calabo and Decomelts. They're both fantastic. But when you use white chocolate, it has a much better taste, but it has a yellow colour. So I'm going to kind of teach you how to change that as well. We're going to be using the new Cuttermill colours, all the way from Australia. and we have loads of different colours there as well. So we're going to start off by colouring our moulds, and what I like to do is use the Decamelts to do that. I'm actually going to tie my hair up a little bit different. Do we have any questions coming in?
Probably.
Any familiar faces?
Yeah, a few there from all over the place. I'll just try and scroll back. What's the most latest one? How do you stop the candy melts going quite thick? From Louise. Too thick.
Yeah, so the candy melts, they come, they're thick, whereas the Decamelts won't be as thick. So you can add oil to the candy melts to thin them down, just like a vegetable oil, sunflower oil. Some people use coconut oil, but you kind of get that coconutty flavour. I think for the main camera, and we could probably lift it up a bit higher and angle it down a bit more.
Okay.
Just so you can see a bit more of what I'm doing here.
Yeah, so exactly. Switch on the side camera.
Yeah. Right, so we're going to start off by colouring our moulds. So I'm going to use the Decamelts to do that, because you don't have to temper them, it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to be using the geometric heart ones, and these are Sweet Stamp moulds. You guys are absolutely loving these. So it comes in two sizes, the small, I actually think they're called mini on the website, and then the large or regular. So you can kind of see the size difference there. Can we see that okay?
Up a bit higher now, yeah.
I can't see it on my screen, maybe you can see it.
It's taken a second to go back. Yeah, you can see it all right.
So they're the two sizes, just in case you're wondering. I actually have some that I made up from before I can show you. Whoop. So these are the ones I made in my video. So they're like the red, pink and white. And that's the size of the mini. Okay? So that's a lovely size. It's kind of like cupcake size. If you wanted to kind of do them on their own, the big one is nice. And you can put different fillings into them. Okay, so when you're working with chocolate, your best friend is parchment.
Shirley's asking, can we watch the video back as well? Like, as
yeah.
soon as this is finished, it should appear on the page like a normal video as well. Yeah, so you can watch, you know, if there's specific bits you miss, you can scroll back. No problem.
So I haven't even decided what sort of colours I'm going to do. So we have the Colour Mill colours, and they're chocolate colouring. You can't use your normal gel pastes. You have to use a chocolate-based colours. So we have the Decamelts, and we also have another brand. I don't think I have any here. I might have had a red one in here. Oh yeah, I do. So
Annalise is asking as well, how do you know which chocolate you need to temper and which not, or is it all chocolate?
So any chocolate with cocoa butter in it. So if you look at the back, I don't think I have a packet here, do I? Would you mind grabbing a packet from over there? So like any chocolate with cocoa butter in it, you will have to temper. Yeah. So I should say it in the ingredients. If it has it, it's real chocolate. So you know, like so cocoa mass, which is cocoa butter. Oh yeah, cocoa butter. So that's what you want to have in it, and that's what you need to temper basically, is the cocoa butter. So hopefully that answers your question. So yeah, the Colour Mill colours are oil based. You can use them in buttercream as well, and I think you can use them in sugar paste. Yeah, so you can use a buttercream, Swiss Rime buttercream, chocolate, cake batter, ganache, fondant and more. So they're really, really versatile. But the main thing that people love about it is that you can use it in your chocolate. So do not use your normal gel pastes. It will split your chocolate. Even if you're using the Decamelts or real chocolate, it'll seize it and it'll get really thick and crumbly like a biscuit almost. So do not let any moisture get near it. So for the Colour Mill colours, we have very limited colours left on the site because you guys are absolutely going nuts for the Valentine's colours. We do have another order coming, and it's being dispatched hopefully Thursday, so we could have it beginning of next week, fingers crossed. But in the meantime, we kind of just have nice blues and white, which is really, really important. But then we do also have the Decora chocolate colours too. Actually, I have a few more of these colours in a crate on the floor, Andrew, just a couple of each.
What are they called again, sorry?
See them in this little container here in my hand? So they're just in the green container at the front. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll see what colours I have, and they will work just as well. All right, so I'm going to use the Decamelts, and you can just melt these down in the microwave. Handy little trick I found to kind of keep them melted as you're working with them, as I put them in my oven on the lowest setting, which is about 50 degrees, and it doesn't melt the bowl or anything like that. Oh yeah, so they're the other ones as well. So I'll use a bit of both and show you how they work.
Karen Creevy says hello.
Hello,
She
Karen.
says nice to actually see you. And Hope Cooper is there somewhere.
He is. He is.
I have to have like a dedicated Cooper camera.
Yeah. We put a GoPro attached
on
to
his head. Yeah.
So I'm just going to divide these out between the bowls here. And because I'm just going to use this to colour, we just need the tiniest bit.
The general, I don't think it's too expensive to do. Someone's asking, what would you recommend to temper with, or like methods?
I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it expensive?
No. I don't use a thermometer from my way. You can definitely do it a way where you use a thermometer. Not expensive. Unless you're buying like a tempering machine, which is not necessary at all. I will show you, don't worry.
Only if you're really into it.
Yeah. So I'm going to use some blues just for a change. So what have I got? Baby blue. You might actually go onto the link there, Andrew, into the collection, and I want to show them the colours that we actually have. So I think we have a baby blue. Where's the baby blue gone? Yeah. So this is Colour Mill in baby blue. Just make sure you give it a good shake. Are you on it?
I'll just wait for it to load now.
Okay. So we're just going to put a couple of drops in there. Give it a stir. And look at that lovely colour. And because you're colouring a white base, it won't kind of give it a yellowy tone. Normally if you add blue into a yellowy tone, it can go a bit like turquoisey. And I'm just going to pop this back into my oven, just to keep it from setting on me. What other colours can I use? Pink?
Still hasn't loaded for me, yeah.
So I'm going to use the Decora in the pink. Oop. And I should also say that the Decamelts come in colours as well. So if you want to do a dark colour, I would recommend just buying the red. And don't try colour it because you have to add so much colouring. So I'm going to put another few little drops of this. I can already feel my voice croaking. I obviously have very weak vocal cords. I can't speak for very long.
Leanne is adding items to her basket as you speak.
Good.
Everything you pick up, basically. Yeah, add that. Cool.
Whoop.
Can you use it in an airbrush straight to spray on the chocolate?
I don't think so. I mean,
they can be a bit temperamental, so you're very fine.
yeah, these are more for adding into chocolate. Oh, this is starting to set on me. Is it ready?
It might work for a little bit and then stop.
Yeah. Okay, I either got colour in this or it's just starting to set. Hold on. Yeah, no, they're for adding in, like they'll stay wet if you just kind of paint them or airbrush them. There are, like, I think specific airbrush colours for chocolate.
Okay, so load up, yeah. What colours are you looking for? The Decor or the Colour Mill?
Colour Mill.
So you can see there in the collection there's the white, the green, the yellow.
Green.
Yeah. White, green, yellow and blue.
Oh, I don't have yellow. What type of blue?
Just says blue. Let me see.
No, I'm going to scrap that. I got water into that. The bowl must have come from the dishwasher. So that's what happens when water gets into it. Can you see the way it's just starting to clump up?
It's just called blue. There's no specific type.
Just called blue.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's what happens. But the colour is lovely. It's a lovely light colour. Okay, let's try that again. Any questions there, Andrew?
As a side tip anyway, to make sure your bowls are bone dry.
Oh, is there? Go on.
No, just for what happened there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Water.
Yeah.
Like if there's a little drop in your bowl, it will seize up your chocolate.
One or two on YouTube. Yeah, if you just search for Sugar Sisters on YouTube, we should find our page.
Yep.
And it's streaming live there. We're only testing it out for tonight. I think there's about 10 people watching on that one.
Oh,
but
cool.
still,
That's good.
thanks for tuning in, all 10 of you.
So what have I got? I've got blue, I've got pale pink, and then what else would I do? What was the other? Green. That'll be a really crazy
On the
mix.
collection, yeah.
Yeah.
White, green, yellow and blue.
Oh. I mean, it could be kind of Mother's Day-ish. I don't have yet. Oh, I have this yellow. Right, we'll just do this yellow then.
Yeah, it's kind of an orangey yellow. I guess it once it actually mixes in.
So this is pure experimental colours here. Oh.
The person on YouTube called the World Visions saying hello from Morocco.
Oh, hello from Morocco.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I love this colour. Can we see that okay?
Let me just check again. Yeah, it's coming through.
Okay. Oh no, that's done it as well. Okay, I'm not using them. I'm not happy with them at all. Scratch that. Let's do different colours. Yeah. Take 5. Okay. Now, any questions or anything, Andrew?
I'm on Facebook and on TV with YouTube.
Oh wow.
Multitasking.
That's quite the setup. Right, so I've done, there's blue in there, isn't it? Yeah, blue, pink, and purple.
Leslie's suggesting that the colours mix as well. You could do like pink and blue to make lilac.
Oh yes, you see I'm not, my head's not screwed on today. I'm going through like a million spatulas already. So this, I'm going to use the Colour Mills because they weren't working for me for whatever reason. Look at that pink. Isn't it amazing?
Almost matches your bit darker
Yeah.
straight away. As you mixed it, it got darker.
And this is the purple.
What was the brand of white chocolate again?
So the one I have in the bowl is Calabo, but Belclade is another one as well that we sell, and we have that in white chocolate too. So either will work just fine.
What temperature is your oven?
It's just about 50 degrees.
Barely on.
Yeah. Okay.
Oscar on YouTube is asking, is the white chocolate being tempered?
Yes, I will be showing you how to temper it as well. Okay, so we're going to do some big ones, and you'll probably notice that these are cut. So I cut mine because it's just much easier to manage them as you're going, and I would recommend you do the same. Oh my god, the temperature was on the lowest setting in this microwave. No wonder why it wasn't melting it. Oh dear. So I haven't cut my big one yet, so I can do that now. It's terrifying, but it's so worth it. Just make sure you cut it nice and straight. And don't leave yourself with loads of excess, because it will unbalance the mould when it's sitting flat. But these hearts are actually great. They have like a little stand on them. I was wondering why the microwave wasn't melting them. I was like, is there something wrong with this? No, it was just the microwave was on the lowest.
Electricity slowly dying in the room.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to finish cutting these. So has anybody cut their molds yet that's watching?
I'd say so. By two, one that you can cut and one that you keep.
No, I just think you're going to end up cutting both because it's just so much easier. It looks a bit weird, but it makes life easier. And that's what we're all about.
Can you mix the melts as you're colouring the molds to make a marble effect?
Can you mix them out? Yeah, yeah, we can do one of that. I'm actually going to try and do a few different designs for you.
Yeah.
So we could do a bit of that for sure.
Lizzie's asking, why are you putting the chocolate in the oven?
Oh, just to keep it warm. So
Set.
it will set. It's quite chilly here in Ireland, so it just keeps it melted while you're working with it.
It's a very climate-specific thing. If you live somewhere
Yeah.
hot, you probably don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So like an hour before the live, I put the bowls of the unmelted chocolate into the oven. Now it was a little bit hotter, but just make sure your bowls don't melt. Like if you're using glass, it's probably better.
Danielle's watching.
Hi Danielle.
What do you think?
Ooh.
Will you set up?
Yeah. So we're just trying out something different. So you can see more of me. Not that you need to. Okay, I'm really, really happy with these colours. They're gorgeous.
Kirsty's are cut.
What?
Kirsty's are cut.
Kirsty's are
molds.
cut.
Yeah.
Good woman.
Not yet cutting it in the morning. we've changed your mind for Jenny. Yeah. Kira has them cut.
Okay.
Is there a tip to melting the new sweet melts?
I haven't used them yet, actually. I'm dying to have a go at them, but I have not used them. I think...
Saying hers are they're thick and lumpy, she can't get it smooth.
Yeah, so if they're thick, you need to add a bit of oil to them. So they're thick so you can easily coat your molds. With the deck melts, they're a bit thinner, so you can put on a couple more layers, whereas those sort of melts, you only need one layer. But if you're like using them for dipping and stuff, you want to thin them out, so use a bit of oil. So just sunflower oil, vegetable oil, and it will loosen them up for you. But I haven't actually used them myself, so let's have a bit of fun here. So these ones here are just done with little blobs. So basically what I did was I used my paintbrush and I went into the mold and I just got a big thick bit onto my brush and I literally just randomly blobbed it all over the place. Blob is the technical term. I'm all about my technical terms.
Jilly's afraid of ruining hers by cutting them.
You won't. You'll see. Like the fact that I can do this and lift them up already is making it easier.
And Danielle says definitely best to cut them.
Yeah. It feels weird and it feels wrong and unnatural and like you don't want to do it, but when you do it, nobody looks back.
Danielle's even added saying if you use melted Trex.
Oh yeah, Trex will work, yeah, and coconut oil. Any kind of fat should work, as long as it's not water in it. See, this one's already started setting on me again.
Lindsay says, lovely pretty colours, just like you.
Ah, thank you. So a few of these guys are handy to have. Because you don't want your chocolate to set on the edge, so just keep it nice and clean. And that's just going to give you a neater finish on the back of your molds. So if you see here, it's not too messy looking. You can see actually a little bit of marbling that I did there. There's a solid colour. So you want the edge to be as neat as possible. So that's another reason why I like cutting my molds. Okay, so blue. It's so cold in here, even the chocolate in the mold is pretty much already set. Which is good and bad. Just means you have to keep melting your chocolate. And if you don't want the colours to blend as much, let them set in between, which is kind of easier if you're doing a few molds at the same time, so you can just go and do all the purple in each and then come back and do the first one that you did, so it should be set by then. Oh, I love these colours. These are very kind of Mother's Day kind of feel off them. Okay, and again, just clean up your mold. So that's kind of one design. And I wanted to kind of play with some others. So something very similar to that one, where you come in but don't have a lot on your brush, and you're kind of just lightly dabbing so you can kind of see through it a little bit. Can you see that okay?
I can put you on the other camera if you want to hold it at a bit more of an angle.
Yeah.
Just,
So
just tilt it like that, yeah.
yeah. So it's not as thick of a layer. So it kind of, they blend a bit more, the colours. And it's just a slightly different effect. So if you saw my frozen popsicles that I did on our social medias there recently, this is what I did for that. So you can get
Would the PME melting pots be good to keep
Yes.
the candy melts from going
very
on?
handy. If you're serious about it, you could get a few of the melting pots and you can have each in it. It's super, super handy.
Cut mine in spheres for the chocolate bombs. It's an absolute game changer.
Yes, especially for the hot chocolate bombs.
What brushes are you using there?
Oh, they're the Sweet Stamp ones. It's actually in the collection that Andrew's put into the comments. I think they're the deluxe dusting brush set. They're Sweet Stamp. So there's two designs. I'm going to play around with some other ones that I haven't done. So I was going to try and do like swipes, just for a bit of fun. Haven't a clue how this is going to turn out, but I'm having a play.
Yeah.
And I'd say for these, you definitely want to, unless you want them to blend, which might be cool. This could turn out terrible, by the way.
Do the opposite, yeah. Don't let it set at all and just blend it in.
Yeah. So if you want to no blend, let the colours set in between. This is set on me already. In she goes. And you could do like, you could drizzle all the colours and make a layered effect.
Someone who's just joining late, they're saying, are you using chocolate or a candy melt?
So these are like candy melts. They're actually called Deco Melts. They're these ones. I really, really like them. But candy melts will work as well. Okay, so that's already set because it's quite a thin layer. So we'll go in with a blue. Ooh, and maybe if I get a smaller paintbrush, we could paint like little flowers on them and make them really Mother's Day-ish.
Yep. Does it wash off the brushes okay?
Yeah, just a bit of hot water just to remelt
Make
it.
sure it's very hot.
Yeah, and you'll be good to go.
Nikki Bonnell saying, hi Emily, not seen her live in a while. Hope you and Andrew are well.
Hi Nikki, we're good. We've been hibernating. No, we haven't.
Kind.
Kind of.
We're eating like we're hibernating. I think everyone is.
Yeah.
Have Deco Melts any flavour to them, or are they just plain?
No, they have a nice vanilla
Plain
flavour to
vanilla,
them.
is
I
it?
actually prefer them to the candy melts. But the layer I'm putting on here shouldn't, you shouldn't taste it too much. And my plan is to do the back of them in lovely white chocolate. So I'm going to teach you how to temper. And that way, you see with tempering, you kind of have to work really quickly, but with these we can keep melting as we go. So I like to do the colour with the Deco Melts and then fill it with the white chocolate for the taste. But like, personally, I don't really mind the Deco Melts too much. Some people don't like that taste off of them. The vanilla sweet, like the kids love them. But if you're doing it for adults or whatever, maybe do the white chocolate. But then you have to know how to temper. So, I mean, it's just how much effort you want to put into them, basically. So we've got 3 lovely designs there. Maybe I'll get a smaller brush and we can try out some little flowery designs.
Are the Deco Makes already that colour, or have you used colouring?
I coloured them, but you can buy them coloured as well.
Yeah.
And I was saying for like the deep colours, for red and stuff like that, I would definitely buy the pre-coloured ones. And there should be a link in the comments so you can go on and you can browse on our website. I'm going to sit down so I can get crafty. So we'll do a little flower. We'll do some roses maybe.
The spatulas are just generic spatulas.
Yeah, they're just spatulas. They're the Cakestar brand. They're on our website as well. So I'm just kind of drawing little semicircles to kind of make a rose effect. And I'm going to layer it out. Again, I'm just winging it. I'm just playing. Can we see okay, Andrew?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is it on the close-up or
I
the...
can put it on close-up now.
Yeah.
It's okay on the big one as well, but I'll get closer now.
This is a close-up thing.
Yeah.
And I might even colour up some green as well and do like little leaves. So are you guys enjoying it so far? Is anyone going to try these out for Valentine's? I was going to say Halloween, and then I noticed it's Christmas.
That's the last time we did it.
Oh dear.
Feels like it. Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day. Just go through all the holidays till you get to Valentine's Day.
So can you see what I'm doing? So I start off with like a little semicircle, like a C shape basically, and then I just interlock.
Build and build. Is there a specific thickness when you're painting on with the Decamelts? Or
No.
is it just enough to coat?
No, you can go really thin, but like you will need to do enough. It'll have to be the final when you're finished, because I'm going to put chocolate over this again to do another layer. You will need to make sure it's thick enough. So because the Decamelts are quite thin, you might need to do 2 layers to fill after this, and I'll show you how to do that. Whereas if you're using white chocolate, it is a bit thicker, so you wouldn't need to do 2 layers. So it just depends what you're using. Just make sure you don't have a thin layer, because if you have a thin layer, it'll crack.
Jan Cliff says she'd rather do Halloween than Valentine's right now.
Yeah, Jan is definitely, your style is Halloween. I mean, you know, we're nearly there.
Yeah. Couple more lockdowns and be there again.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna try these, says Nikki.
Yep.
Lovely.
Excellent.
I love marbling chocolate. Yeah, it does look nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll definitely combine these colours and do a fun marbled one after this now.
Cool. I got double figures on YouTube now.
Oh, wow.
11 people. Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's our first time on YouTube.
Yeah, I didn't really advertise. I just sort of threw it up there. But thank you all. Going to try this week with my 2-year-old.
Ah, lovely.
Fun.
It's a good one actually for the kids.
Yeah. You just cover the table in like cling film or something and just
Yeah.
go nuts.
That's a good idea. Because the chocolate is a pain to clean, but once you have it down, like some parchment or even cling film, you're good to go. I might actually do like little black Dalmatian style dots all around this. I think that will look so cool. So there's my little rose.
A little lower. Yep, let me get the focus on.
Can you see it?
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't that cool? So you could paint any design you wanted onto it. It depends on how crafty you're feeling. So I'm just going to make sure these are nicely melted, and we'll do a bit of marbling. This is where it's going to get a little bit messy. So you can see they start to set up. So let us know how you find the sound, because we have new microphones which are here. And Andrew has a microphone, so he can't whisper anymore.
I can try that.
There's no hiding. Andrew has a very quiet voice, so you can hardly hear him most of the time. And I always like, Andrew, don't be afraid to speak up. I'm obsessed with that pink. Gorgeous. And let us know how you find the new way we're videoing. So you should hopefully be able to see a bit more of me and what I'm doing rather than
All around you.
parsing. And that messy area over there.
What mess here? I can't see it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
Can you make chocolate bombs with them if stuck together? Or are they
Yep.
not deep enough?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. With the Decamelts, is that what
I
you
think
mean?
with the molds, you mean.
Oh, with these, yeah, you could stick two halves together for sure, and you make hot chocolate bombs. A lot of people do that. Okay.
Is it possible to burn the Decamelts by mistake?
Yeah,
No.
it's not hard, but if you leave them in on high heat for too long, just like anything, you can burn it for sure. But I find it's hard to burn them. They actually melt quite easily because they're not really thick.
Lynn just bought the block mold.
Excellent.
Excited.
I don't think I have enough blue to marble, so I might just do the pink and the purple. So just make sure it's nicely melted.
Emily to the rescue yet again from Jan.
What did I do?
I think it was about the molds. Whether
Oh,
they're thick
okay.
enough to make the bombs.
Yes. What did I do?
Answer the question. 30 seconds.
I don't know what I did. Right, so we're going to do marble, and basically I'm just going to pour my purple into my pink. Ooh. And just give it the smallest mix, like that. And then we're going to pour this into our lovely big heart here. Our big heart. See, we have big hearts. Get it all in there. And then just mix it around. Make sure you get right to the edge of the mold. All the way up here as well. Okay, and then we just pour that out. And just shake out all the excess until none really comes out anymore. Shake, shake, shake. I actually love making these. I find them really therapeutic. As with anything, as long as you're not in a rush. So just lock the kids away in another room under the stairs.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Okay, so there's not much coming out of that anymore. And this is why it's so handy having the molds all separated. It's because you could easily just scrape it all back in. You don't have to pour as much in because the next layer won't be as marbled, but we'll pop it in. We'll see what it comes out like. Maybe actually I'll melt this blue down and we'll put a bit of that in as well. May as well use it all up. So then before we put our next layer in, we want to make sure that that layer is fully set. So you can pop it into the fridge or the freezer even if you're in a rush. But they will set out on the counter as well. So
Nikki's asking about, for the molds, could you cook a cake in them as well?
yep,
Or
yeah,
would you
yeah.
recommend?
You can put these into the oven, so you could bake little brownies in them even.
Yeah. That kind of thing.
You could do sponge. Yep, 100%. You can put mousses in them as well. I know you don't put them in the oven, but you could do that for sure. Nice. So I'm actually, because there's only a small bit of blue, I'm just going to play around and just drizzle this in first, randomly. And then pour this on top. Again, I'm winging it.
We're all winging it.
We're all
together.
winging it together. We're messing. That's how you come up with cool ideas. So just spread it all around.
Messing is very important.
It is. It's good for the brain as well. It's therapy.
Yeah. And Nikki says thank you very much. She wasn't sure if they'd be too thin to put in the oven, whether they, the rubber would.
Oh yeah, no, silicone. You can put it in the oven unless your oven goes up to like 500 degrees Celsius.
But
You're
they're
good.
not too thin to cook a bit of cake batter in.
No. People have put chocolate biscuit cakes into them as well. That'd be quite yummy. So I have one more. Well, actually, I have two more to fill. So what will I do?
Would you marble that? Yeah.
I have marbled, yeah. I could do like a white and a black marble, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to do a black marble just to be
More realistic.
traditional. So you can really like play around and have fun. It's not too stressful, I hope, especially with the Decamelts, because you're not worrying about having to retemper it, because once it sets and you have to remelt it, you'll have to retemper it. But don't stress too much about that. I'm going to show you that soon.
I'm not sure what she means by hammer here. What type of chocolate can I use for the big heart with hammer?
Oh yeah, I know what she means.
Okay. I've tried and the chocolate did not get hard enough.
Ah, so if you're using real chocolate, if it didn't get hard enough, it's because it's not tempered, or it's not tempered correctly. So it needs to be tempered better. Or if you're using Decamelts, they should set solid. But I'm guessing it was real chocolate. Please let me know, and I will try help.
Yeah.
So if you don't temper real chocolate, the chocolate will be soft, and it literally it'll melt in your hands almost. Whereas if it's tempered, it'll snap. You know when you get a chocolate bar and you break it and you get that lovely snap? That's tempered chocolate.
Jan Cliff is suggesting a black marble with a skull.
Ooh, I don't have any skull molds. Janet, you just need to live in a universe that has like permanent Halloween throughout the year.
I think she does anyway.
You should do That's very true. Okay, so I'm going to use black colour milk for this.
Nikki says it's saying goodbye because she has to go, but she'll watch the rest of this tomorrow.
No worries, Nikki. Thanks for tuning in, as always.
Do the Decamelts need to be Decamelts need to be tempered, or are they all
No.
tempered?
That's the beauty of them. Why I like using them for just colouring my moulds.
It's quick, you can just
It's quick
temper it
and
out of the bag.
yeah, and you just melt it and paint. Whereas if you're tempering it, you have to temper it. So I'm just melting some more of my Decamelts down in the white, and I'm going to add some black, and we're going to try and do like a black marble. Okie dokie. You can't be afraid of washing up if you're doing this, by the way.
Yeah. You're probably best off washing up as you go as well, because
No, you can't enjoy yourself if you have to stop and wash up all the time. Karen's probably watching like Emily.
yeah.
I think most cake decorators are messy anyway.
Courtney says she loves the banner behind you.
Oh, thank you.
Very pretty.
We decided to jazz up the place a little bit. Right, so I've got a little bit of my white Decamelts in there, and I'm just going to take a few drops, just the smallest bit of black colour mill. Ooh. I might even actually use a paintbrush to add this in because I don't want it to go in too strong.
Jan has trouble with tempering chocolate as well.
Okay,
I've tried many times raising and dropping temperature, but it's always too soft.
okay. I'm going to show you my way. I don't use a thermometer. And try my way and see how you get on. Right, so I'm just swirling this through. Oh, big blob there. And then just gently stir it through. Can you see that there?
Yeah, it's on a close up. Yeah, it's perfect.
So I think I'll pour this into...
Little snakes of it.
Yeah, if you mix it anymore, the black will fully incorporate and you won't get a lovely marble. And then when you pour it in, just try and move around.
Yeah, if you tilt it forward like that, it's best. Yeah.
Well, I have to kind of move it around.
Yeah.
So and then move it around. And you won't know what it's going to look like because you have to wait until you fully unmold it.
Different every time.
Yeah. And I might do this little mini one as well. And just pour that in there. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
But if you're reusing it, like it will, the marble will become more blended. So if you just use a small bit each time, then you just end up with a bit of grey at the end. Or you could do a marble colour, and that way you'll end up with like a solid pink, which you'd probably get more use out of. Just depends what you're doing.
You've got an endorsement from Kira as well. She's saying, definitely try Emily's way. I'd never done it before and used her method on the chocolate bombs and it worked perfectly.
Yay! Aw, I'm so glad.
Doesn't get better than that.
No. I like to kind of try find the easy way for everything. Well, a combination of the easy and best way.
That's what they say, work smarter, not harder.
That's it, yeah. And then scrape, scrape, scrape. Get that lovely neat edge. Okay, so we've loads of different designs here. I'm actually going to take a little bit of this white and turn it into black. And I'm going to paint some dots. So I never actually coloured the black from white, so we'll see how well this goes. So I'm just going to colour a little section over here.
Pen and paper at the ready. Jam tape again.
Good.
I can temper chocolate every time now doing it this way after
Yay.
watching you live. That's from Rebecca.
Well, I'm delighted. Oh, there's a thing on movie record has been stopped. It's on one of the cameras. This one.
It was recording, I think.
Can anyone else see that as well, or is that just me?
No, it's not just you.
Okay.
The camera was recording as well at the same time.
Okay.
Don't know how.
So for the roses, I'm just going to take a little bit of this Decamelt coloured black, and I'm going to do some little dots. I'm just using the back of a paintbrush. Obviously this one is quite time consuming. So if you're doing it for like a business, this might not be the best. But it is fun if you're just doing it for friends or family or just for yourself. Gotta look after yourself. So I'm just doing random dots, different sizes, different shapes.
Terry has to run to a meeting, but same again, she'll watch it tomorrow. Bye, Terry.
Bye Terry, thanks for tuning in. Good luck in your meeting.
Nancy Cunningham saying, do you only give one coat? Just started watching and never knew your own.
So
Depends, I guess.
with these guys, because I'm just doing the colour, the Decamelt's one coat wouldn't be enough. You definitely need to do maybe 2 coats, even 3. With white chocolate, you get away with doing less. Okay, so I'm just going to throw a load of these into the sink because it's all messy. And then if you have leftover chocolate, don't leave it in your bowl. Just get some new parchment paper. And just pour it out. I shouldn't put all those in the bowl. Okay, let's use this. Pour it out onto some parchment and leave it to set. Or you could use this to make chocolate shards. And just spread it out so it doesn't go too thick. And then I think I have more here. Nearly set. And then you can use this again, melt it down, and nothing gets wasted. So once this is set, you can just break it up and put it back into the bag. You're welcome. Does anyone else do this, or is it just me?
And you can snap off little shards for yourself as well. So
Yeah, if you want to
sneaky
just,
snacks.
yeah. Sneaky snacks.
Do you do anything to the molds before you put the chocolate in them, or is it just
Yeah, give them a good wash with warm soapy water. These hearts actually have a matte finish on them. There's some molds which have a shiny finish on them. I'll show you now.
from Lizzie?
So this is our sphere mold.
Sorry, on the side camera
Yeah.
there.
So you can probably see that it's shiny there.
Just a little to your left. Yeah, there you go.
Whereas the hearts, oh actually I have more hearts here, look. Can you see that it doesn't have a shine?
Yeah.
That's just the type of silicone, it's not a shiny finish. So if you're doing these guys, wash in warm soapy water and just make sure all the grease is gone, and then get a bit of alcohol. High grade alcohol, the dipping solution is best. And you polish them. And that's going to help give you a good shine. Also, having properly tempered chocolate will give you a better shine. So you want a completely dry, streak-free finish. So it does take a bit of work, but then the payoff is with loads of
It's
shiny.
Like, it's the opposite of cakes, where you like put like a grease spray.
Yeah.
You actually want it to be as absolutely clean as possible.
Exactly, yeah. And the same with these guys. I was going to show you some of these as well. So they have a shiny finish on them. So you go in with your alcohol. I don't know if you can see that these were dull after they're washed. So I actually normally put them in the dishwasher to get like the most of the chocolate off. And then I'd wash them again in warm soapy water and then go in and polish them with the alcohol. You probably see here they're not polished with alcohol, and here they're a little bit shinier. Maybe.
Yep.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to show you how to temper chocolate now.
Pen and paper.
Yeah, pen and paper. Ah, no, it's not too complicated, I don't think. I can't wait to see this one. I'm very excited about that one. Well, very excited about them all. I'll have to unmold them all. And then a nice little hack, if you've got some chocolate on your board, is to use a scraper. Obviously, our super scraper. You just scrape. And into the bin. Okay, so tempering. So melt your chocolate down. You can do that in the microwave or on a bain-marie. And it should be nice and warm. So I just had that in the oven to keep it warm. So I'm just going to test it. It needs to be a little bit warmer. So when you melt it in the microwave or on the bain-marie, it will be warmer to start off with. So I'm just going to give it a quick blast in the microwave. Can you fill up a small bowl with just a few bits of chocolate, the white chocolate? Here's a bowl. Just a handful, should be loads. So let's just pretend I microwave that, and you want to do it in short intervals, getting shorter each time. So I normally start off with about a minute, and then I'd probably do 30 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and then bring it down to 15 seconds. Obviously, the more it melts, the hotter it's going to get. And in between each interval, take it out and stir it to make sure all the chocolate is combined. Because with microwaves, the inside is going to heat up quicker than the outside. And the same sort of thing if you're using a bain-marie. So that's your glass bowl over a saucepan with some water on a medium kind of high heat, and you just want to gently melt it and keep mixing it. Okay, so what you're looking for is it to be fully melted, no bits. There's a bit in here. So get it fully melted. I'm going to put that back in there. So just another 30 seconds or so, I think it'll be fine. Do you only polish the shiny molds? Yes. Just make sure any of the non-shiny ones are nice and clean, warm, soapy water, and dry them really, really well. And try not to use, like I'm using kitchen roll, you shouldn't. You should use a cloth that doesn't have hairs on it. Well, not hairs, like fluff. Okay, so this has a nice temperature to it now. So it should feel warm to touch, and it should be nice and smooth.
Will it work with dark chocolate as well, or is it any different?
Yep, so this technique will work with dark chocolate and milk chocolate. Okay, so once you have it fully melted and there's no lumps in it, we're going to take a handful of chocolate. And this is the chocolate straight from the bag, which comes tempered. So the buttons that you get in the bag are already tempered, and we're going to mix. And you have to be patient, because what we want is these bits to melt into our white chocolate or milk or dark. And as they melt, they add the crystals back, which tempers the chocolate. So it's cooling it and it's crystallizing it, and that's what gives it the snap. And don't ask me the science behind it. Just does. So I can see that they're already melting in, so I'll add in another handful. And basically, we keep going until you're almost picking out the last 2 or 3 bits. So I'll keep adding less in each time. And you want to keep it mixing as well, because that also helps crystallize and cool it down. And scrape down the bowl. Keep all the mix together.
Someone's asking about the timings again for melting in the microwave. I don't think it really matters specifically, it's just as long as you keep doing less and less.
Yeah, so start off with about a minute, and the next time do 30 seconds. And each time you take it out, give it a really good mix. You could do another 30 seconds and just keep checking it and bring it down to 15 seconds. As it heats up, you want to do less and less time. So just keep taking it out and stirring it. Gentle is the way. Okay, so they're nearly melted. So I know it's not tempered for sure, but I just want to show you the difference between untempered and tempered, so you know how to identify if it's tempered or not. So I'm just going to use some parchment just to check it. So
Amina's asking, is it 2 different chocolates that you're using, the melted in the buttons, or are they the same?
Same. You could probably mix. I wouldn't see any reason why you couldn't mix. So I'm just dipping in a little bit of my parchment there. And if it's tempered, it'll set really quick. And you'll see that it's really shiny, and you'll see that it'll start to dull over a little bit. And that's when you know it's set. So I'm going to add some more in, putting less in each time. When I'm tempering, I actually prefer, this is the Calabo. So you see they're tiny little buttons. When I'm tempering, I actually prefer the Belcolade because they come in bigger buttons.
Yeah, like
would you grab one there just so I can... They're like
Cadbury's buttons.
Cadbury's buttons, yeah, they're like big. So they take a little bit longer to melt in, which is a little bit easier for tempering. But I have like 15 kg of Calabo to work through. Oh yeah, so you can see the size difference. So when you want to fish any last ones out, it's much easier when they're bigger, whereas these would be smaller, but it works. We get there. Okay, they're nearly melted already. And the hotter your mix is, it's going to be different each time depending on how hot your chocolate was to start off with, and also depending on how cold or warm the room is. So if it's cold room, it's going to start setting quicker and your chocolate will cool down quicker. So you don't want your room to be really, really cold.
Oscar on YouTube is asking again if the white chocolate pieces are on our website.
Yeah, everything I use,
yeah.
pretty much everything is on our website.
I have it pinned on YouTube as well.
Perfect.
for a link to all the bits and pieces we're using tonight. So.
Excellent. So we're using our elbow grease, literally. So I'm going to dip again.
Is that food safe, is it?
Elbow grease?
Yeah.
Probably not.
How do you know how much chocolate to add?
You just keep going. When you'll see that it'll start slowing down the melting. When you add it in, it'll take longer to melt in. And you'll know because when we do a test strip, we'll check if it's tempered. And that's when you know.
Probably hold the strips up like just against your chest like that, because the white on white, you can't really see it.
Oh yeah, well these are still not set, so it's not tempered yet. So they're still shiny. But once...
Just to show people what you're doing, that you cut a little piece of parchment.
Yeah, so I'm just cut a little bit of piece of parchment, and I just dipped in one side, and I'm putting it down on the table here. Do you want me to move anything so they can see?
No, that's right.
If I move it over to the middle, will it...
Yeah, it's just because it's white chocolate on white
White
parchment.
yeah.
On a white background.
And you'll see the chalk will actually start to thicken up a little bit as it cools. And the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. So I'm going to dip another piece. So I'm just taking a little square, a little rectangle, dip it in, and just put it down. And keep checking it. It's melted, so all those bits are melted. So we're going in with some more. Less and less each time. Patience, patience, patience. I'm going to have a strong arm after this. Yeah.
Like Popeye.
Yeah. So while I'm standing here, I'll just remind you that there is a link in the description where you can shop everything that I'm using.
On both Facebook and YouTube.
On both Facebook and YouTube. So Andrew has put that into the comments, and it's just pinned to the top of the comments, so you can click on that and head over to our website, sugarsisters.ie, and you can browse and buy everything I'm using there. Okay, I think we're getting close. So I'm just going to dip some more in here. Going to add a tiny bit more. So I'm probably adding in maybe 10 little ones there. Thank you guys for being patient and sticking with us through this process, but it's so important to learn. I think so nice to be able to use real chocolate and to know that you're doing it correctly. And you won't end up with your chocolate melting or cracking really easily, and you won't end up with blooming, which is those tiny white marks all over, which they kind of look like it's gone off chocolate. You can still eat it, it's totally fine, but it just doesn't look as nice. So all our lovely work going to paint it, it'll be all gone.
Once you've tempered it, can you reheat the chocolate?
Yeah, once you've tempered it, you can reheat it, but you'll have to temper it again. That's the only downside. So you want to be ready to go, and that's why I won't use it for doing all those little patterns.
Are we still shipping to the UK?
Yeah, we're still shipping to the UK for sure.
I think it's taken a little bit longer, but it's still happening.
Well, yeah, I don't think the delays are as much as they used to be, but yes. And if we have anybody outside Ireland and UK, we do ship worldwide, but we haven't got it set up on the website yet. So you can just email website@sugarsisters.ie, which is also on our website if you can't remember it. And you can email them with screenshots of what you want, and we can send it out to you. Nearly there.
Jenny has a few bits in her basket right now, but she's just holding off to see if she's going to add any more.
Oh god, yeah. Well, I will be doing a few little decorations. I'm going to do some sweet stamp, I think, which I haven't got sugar paste for, so I'm going to have to get you to get some sugar paste for me. Excuse me. And what else? Sprinkles. We're going to do sprinkles, of course. So there's another way you can temper chocolate, where you would use a thermometer. So you basically heat it up to a certain temperature, which is what we did in the microwave, but we didn't use a thermometer basically. And then you would cool it down. So you'll probably see like chocolatiers, when they're doing a big amount of chocolate, they pour it out onto like a granite table, and then you see them scraping it all over the counter. That's cooling it down. And then I think you bring it back up to another temperature again after that. And a lot of people struggle with it, probably because their thermometers aren't exact, or for various different reasons, I'm sure.
Not the counter space.
Not the counter space, but it is quite a hard way of tempering. You have to kind of get used to it. I find this is the easiest way for me because I don't do large amounts. Okay. So I'm all the time watching these now, and I have them in order, so I know I can start seeing which one's setting quicker than the other. So as we go, the last one you put down should start setting quicker, and what you want is it to set really quick. And probably the last one, the first one we put down will still be shiny and soft, and the last one will be set, and that's when we know you're good to start using it. So once you know it's setting really quickly.
Jenny's wondering how she's going to explain all these purchases to the puppy.
Give him loads of nice things and he can't complain.
It's going to benefit him as well, because he's going to get
Exactly.
taste loads of lovely treats. So, win-win.
Win-win for everyone. Oh.
Switch hands.
What?
Switch hands.
Switch hands. I can't do it with my left hand.
Yeah.
That feels so weird. So I can definitely see that it's thickened up. It'll probably be hard for you to kind of see that sort of thing on the camera, but you'll know it'll be harder to mix. And you'll see the bits melt much slower in it. And so I can see this last one is starting to set already, which is good. But I just want to take it a little bit further, just to be sure.
So once again, there's a link posted at the bottom here, guys.
Yep.
To get everything that's on tonight. It's on sugarsisters.ie, but that link is like specifically for all the stuff that's on tonight.
You can browse while my arm is breaking. Okay, so I'm going to test this one. I think we might be there. So I still have lumps of chocolate in there. Sometimes you can even kind of rub them against the side of the bowl to help them melt in a bit more. And you should be able to feel it's cooler than it was at the beginning.
What if you had transferred from one bowl to another, like a cooler bowl?
You see, you do want this chocolate to melt this chocolate, so you don't want it to cool down too quickly. And especially if the bowl is really cool, especially if it's a glass bowl, for example, it will start setting on the side of the bowl, which would not be good.
Jan says just tell your husband they're free gifts.
Yeah,
Yeah, you won a competition.
won a
and
competition.
Don't look at the bank account, but you won a competition.
Okay, getting there. I'm just feeling them. You can see they're starting to thicken. So I think my chocolate was very hot to start off with. That's why it's taking a little bit longer. It doesn't normally take this long. Or maybe it just feels longer for me because I'm sweating. So I'm going to put in about 3 more pieces.
What was that thing online as well? It's like for an extra charge, we'll put on the receipt, you know, what you told your husband you spent.
Oh yeah, there are some websites that do that.
As opposed to what you
That
actually
this is a
spent.
gift or a
Yeah.
prize that you won.
Yeah, spent €10 at Chuckley System.
Yeah. Oh.
Is it possible to over temper, if that makes sense?
Well, if you keep going, your chocolate will start to set. Yeah, so if it gets cool enough, even if it's not tempered, it will start to set.
So your arms will probably give up before that happens now.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is the longest it's ever taken me. Kind of a workaround as well, I've done it before, is where you're melting it in the microwave. Don't fully melt it. So melt it just until it's just about melted in, and then mix in those last few pieces, and that'll kind of speed up the process. Because the hotter it is to start off with, the longer the tempering it's going to take. Like for me.
Marisol saying, don't you sell chocolate that's already tempered though?
Yeah, so when
I
you
guess
buy,
what's the advantages of doing this as opposed to already tempered chocolate?
so when you buy chocolate, it's tempered. So that's what I'm adding in. When you melt it, it untempers it. So you can't melt it and then it's tempered. You have to temper it after, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to show you my last one there. You can probably, hopefully see. Which is the best camera to do this on, Andrew?
Let me see. I'd say if you hold on the side one there, just get the focus a bit to your left. Okay, and just switch in focus. Yeah, you can see there's kind of a glaze.
So which one has the glaze on it?
For me, the one on the right
This
so
side,
your left hand.
yeah. So this is the first one I dipped,
Yeah.
and this is the last one I dipped. So can you see the way it's not shiny?
Yeah.
And I can feel that it's nearly, you'd nearly be able to peel it off soon. See the way it's a bit of it's coming off there, not fully set. So that's when you know you're starting to get there. So my first one is still wet, as if it's not set at all, as if it's still completely melted. And my last one is already started to set, so that's when you know. And normally I probably dip like 3 or 4 times, but I've done it 6 times now, so you can see how longer it's taking me. Of course that happens on a Facebook Live.
Really quick, guys.
Yeah. And I can see my chocolate isn't really melting in anymore. So I'm going to dip once more, just to be sure. And this should hopefully be my last dip. Oh, I'd love to take a dip in this chocolate. A bath full of chocolate. And I can see that it's much thicker. And while you're waiting for that to set, just keep mixing it. Make sure you're scraping the bowl down all the time. And mix, mix, mix. Mix, 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 mix.
Thanks to the 200 of you that are sticking around as well.
Yeah, guys, you're very patient. I wouldn't be so patient. I'm not patient right now. It'll be worth it, for sure. And again, you can rub those pieces against the side of the bowl, help them melt in. Okay. I think I'm going to add another 2 pieces, just to be sure. It's setting slowly still. I'd like it to set a little bit faster. God, how long have I been mixing for?
Samantha's asking what's it all for. I guess is that going to go into a mold as well? Or
Yeah,
is it
so
just-
this is going to be the second layer on our hearts that we filled earlier on. So I did lovely patterns with Deco Melts on different colours, and then I'm going to go in with this after. And actually, while I'm here, I'm going to add some of the white colour mill in. So this is going to give it a lighter colour. It won't make it white, but it'll lighten it well. And we've got a good bit of chocolate here, so I'm going to put a good bit of this in, probably about a tablespoon and a half, but I have a decent amount here. So can you see this?
Yep.
So it'll just make it a paler kind of colour. It won't make it white. So can you see the difference between these buttons? Maybe these would be better as a comparison. Well, you can see it in the bowl.
Already,
Yeah?
yeah. That's only showing that one there. But if you did the ones you held in your hand,
Oh, these, you can see it.
just hold it over the bowl. Yeah.
Ooh. You see the colour
Yeah,
difference?
you can see it's a bit creamier, yeah.
Okay, so here's my last one I dipped, and here is my first one.
Focusing. Yeah, you can see kind of the glaze.
So that's how
on
we
your
know.
left hand, yeah.
Okay. Right, and so I know I have a few bits in here, so just if you have any bits left over, just take them out. You can use a fork.
Will the colouring not affect the tempering?
No.
No. Okay.
It will not. So just take those bits out because you don't want to end up with a big blob of chocolate. And that's why you add less and less each time, because you don't want to end up fishing out loads at the end. And that's why I prefer the bigger buttons when I'm tempering, because they're easier to find. There's another one. And just keep going until you can't find any more. And thank you for being patient. That definitely took way longer than it normally does. Okay, so I'm just going to move this out of the way and get some fresh parchment. Of course, you can lick that. You don't have to throw it out. So we're going to fill our molds now. So which one will we start off with? So the ones that you have kind of that are see-through, and I mean like for this one, for example, it's not completely covered like these are. If you want it pure white, use the Deco Melts. If you don't mind the slight yellowy tinge, use the white chocolate. But if it's fully covered, I would just pour it straight in. Oop. You can pop it into a piping bag, but this is going to start setting quickly, especially if your room is cold. And I would pour this into a different bowl. Or you can pour it straight onto some parchment paper as well, just so the colour doesn't come out. Or actually what I can do is use this and pour it. I'm being very frugal now. Pour it into here, and you can see how thick it is. And shake as much as you can out. Shake, 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 shake.
Probably rinse and repeat until you can't anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is it'll cool down.
Uh-huh.
So I probably wouldn't do it more than 2 molds. And then get your palette knife and scrape. Scrape. Okay, and I turn my molds upside down then, okay? So, shake it all around. It's actually getting so thick.
Do you fill the hearts or anything, or is it just going to be chocolate?
We're going to be filling them, yep. So I have some lovely fillings that I made up. And I'm going to show you them too. We'll do them after this. Shake, 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 shake. And then scrape. You can't be afraid of mess doing chocolate work. Unfortunately, it is just one of those messy things. And face down. Okay, so I'm going to do my big molds now as well. Make sure you completely coat. Jeez, it's setting up quick on me now. It's because it's so cold in here. So you can use a brush or a palette knife. Get it all the way around. And this is what I mean, the Decamelts would be much thinner consistency. So you might need to do a second coat, whereas these are much thicker. I'm going to coat some of the Decamelts as well for you so you can see the difference. Shake, 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 shake. And you really want to shake as much out as you can, because you don't want your shell to be too thick.
Yeah. Answer to someone asked, why do you turn the mould upside down? Just to make it the chocolate as thin as possible.
Yeah, you have to shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out.
Jan Cliff has to head off now.
Oh, bye, Jan.
Bye.
Which one will I cover? This one. There we go. Whoop. And shake. And depending on how hot and cold your room is as well, because this is thickening up quickly on me now, if you have a warmer room, it's going to thick up or set slower. So sometimes I would fill the molds and leave them for a minute or two. If anybody saw my hot chocolate bomb live, I would fill a few of the molds at a time, like 2 or 3 maybe, and then I would dump them, because when I did them, the room was a bit warmer. It wasn't as cold as it is now. So you just have to keep these things in mind and just keep looking at the texture. Obviously, the more you use it, the more you'll get used to it. So I'm going to fill the rest with some Decamelts to show you the difference. And you can use any colour. You could use a flavour. There are actually Decamelts that we just got in that are flavoured. So there's toffee, which would be absolutely delicious. So you could do a layer of toffee chocolate. So I have some of my white here still melted. And so for this guy, which wasn't fully coated in the colour, I want the background to be nice and white. So I'm going to pour this in. And dump it out, and you can see straight away how liquidy it is. So they're much thinner in consistency. So I would do 2 coats on these for sure. Shake, shake, shake. And then scrape. And then turn upside down. And then repeat.
Jenny has added the toffee into her basket.
Aha! Yes. I'm very excited to try
true
it.
to her word.
Cheers.
Worth the wait.
So every different melting, whether you're using chocolate or Decamelts or PME melts or any melts, they'll all have different consistencies. So just make sure your shell is thick enough that you won't end up cracking it when you're unmolding it. So you see why the Decamelts are easier, but they're not as tasty. But they're more work for the chocolate. So it just depends what you want to do. Okay, and then one more. So any of the Decamelts one I've done, they're going to need a second coat. You can even see the difference in the thickness. So I'm going to pop these guys onto a board and put them in the freezer just to set them up a little bit quicker. The Decamelts will take a little bit longer to set than the white chocolate.
Do you need to let the Decamelts harden before doing the second coat?
Yes, definitely. So you see the white chocolate is pretty much set. Needs another minute or two. That definitely needs longer.
Do the Decamelts not need to be tempered?
No. That's why they're much easier.
Even when you melt them?
Even when you melt them, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just putting all the Decamelts on here and we're going to put them into the fridge. And any of the white chocolate ones are actually pretty much set, so they can be filled straight away. Okay, so you put them into the freezer for me, Andrew. Here you go. Right, so I said I'd give you the recipes for the fillings that I made. How are we doing on time, by the way? The tempering probably took like an hour.
Yeah, you pay in labour for it.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half.
What you save on buying stuff. Yeah, 9:30.
Cool. So I made 2 fillings up. I made a red velvet cookie dough with white chocolate chips, and I made a truffle Biscoff filling. Yeah, so good. So if anybody's ever made my Oreo truffle, which is Oreo and cream cheese, I just did the exact same thing, but I used Biscoff biscuits. So basically what I did was I got the biscuits and I put them into my blender until they were like a powder or like a sand, and then I kept adding a teaspoon of cream cheese in at once until it became like a dough, which is like that, and it is so good. So you can use these to make cake pops, so you can just roll them into balls and you can dip them in chocolate. You can dip a stick in chocolate and dip them into chocolate then after you stick it in. Or you can use them to fill these guys. Now, because of the cream cheese, it does need to be kept in the fridge, so keep that in mind. I have made it with buttercream as well. Not as nice in taste, but it's still delicious. I just love the cream cheese and the sweet. It's a really nice mix. And then for this, I'm going to call out the recipe. So what I'll do is I'll call it out now, and then I'll post it on our Sugar Sisters Cake Chat group, which is on Facebook. And if you're not already on it, you can go join it for free. There's no cost. We just have a lovely community of people on there, all just crazy cakers. So it's just on Facebook, and just search Sugar Sisters Cake Chat and you can just request to join. And I'll post it in there, but I'll call out now as well. So I use cake cream to make this, and that gave me the lovely colour, and it also works for the sugar, and it is an edible cookie dough, so you don't need to cook it, and so you can have it raw. So 200 grams of cake cream, and you can use any colour you want or no colour, or you could use a flavour, like you could use the salted caramel or the lemon, or you could use our raspberry as well. We also do a chocolate one, so you could do a chocolate cookie dough, which would be very, very nice. And then 200 grams of soft butter, 50 grams of room temperature water, 350 grams of plain flour, and I'm going to talk to you about the flour in a minute, and then 40 grams of brown sugar. So with the flour, some people have found that it can cause upset tummy because it's not cooked. So what you can do is weigh out your flour and pour it out into a baking tray and pop it into the oven at about 180 for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, just to get a bit of warmth into it, and apparently that's supposed to stop that. So you can give it a try. If you're selling it, I would definitely do that. Just for tonight I didn't do that because it's just going to be me and Andrew eating it.
We'll let you know how we get on.
Yeah. I assume it's just something to do with the fact it's not cooked, or I don't know, to be honest, but they say you need to cook it. They say.
There's 3 questions here.
Yep.
Debbie's asking, do you sell the pink gloves?
No.
No.
A lot of people have been asking me that recently. We were saying we need to get them.
If using if using cream cheese, what's the shelf life approximately?
So you can keep it in the fridge, maybe 5 days.
Yeah.
I'd say it'd be fine. Obviously, the fresher the better. I don't think it'll last that long. So like I made that up earlier, and 3 to 5 days, I would say.
Yeah. And then finally, Shell Wilson is asking, what is cake cream?
So cake cream is a mix. That's it here. So that's the red one that comes in so many different colours. Some different colours there. It's a it's a mix for making buttercream, and it can also be used for making macarons, meringues, cookie dough, sponge. You can use it for loads of different things, so it's really, really great. It's one of our products here at Sugar Sisters, so definitely give it a try. I use it all the time for making buttercream, and I'm obsessed with macarons and meringue kisses as well. I'm always making them. So yeah.
Jenny says it definitely won't last 5 days in my house.
No. So you can literally just ball this up, and we can start pushing it in to our molds. You don't want to put too much in. You want to leave enough room, because we're going to have to fill the back of these with some more chocolate.
What cream cheese did we use? Was it just Philadelphia?
Just Philadelphia, but you can use any brand.
I use the little one sometimes
Yeah.
as well, it's fine. Or little or Aldi.
You can also, your normal cake pop mix, you can put that in here as well. Yeah. So the Biscoff is quite rich, so I'd only use it in the small ones. I mean, you could use it in the big ones as well, but maybe you could mix it with something else. Like you could do a layer of white chocolate ganache. So you can put loads of different things into them. You can put mousse into them. You know, your normal cake pop mix where you get sponge and you mix in some buttercream. You can put that in. What else could you put in?
What was after the flour on your recipe? Just to make sure.
40 grams of brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
So that just gives it that really kind of cookie dough taste. And then we'll put some of this in here. And then I just eyeballed it for the chips. You could put white chocolate chips in, or you could put
chips to taste.
Yeah, chips to taste.
Season it with
and
chips.
you could put fudge in it. You could put anything you want in it. You know, go mad. Ooh. And I'll be filling the backs of these molds with Decomelts just for time, but you could temper again if you wanted to fill the back of them. You could take those molds out of the freezer for me, Andrew.
Okay.
Oh, caramel. Yeah, you can put caramel into your mold. So you could do a little bit of the cookie dough mix and do a layer of caramel. But just make sure you're leaving enough room for your back to go onto them. Well, yeah, I suppose you would need the back on them. Just thinking, would you need them? I think you would. It just seals them off if you're putting them into treat boxes or whatever. And if you're doing loads of them, what you can do is you can weigh out what you need for each one, and that way, you know, you'll get the exact amount and you won't end up with like a really thick chocolate shell on one and then a really thin one on the next one. Okay, so I'm just going to do my second layer on these guys so they can set. I'm very excited to see how these turn out.
Shirley's suggesting with the Biscoff, I'd use buttercream mixed with Biscoff spread.
Butter, yes, yeah, that would work as well. Just to kind of tone down different textures. And just, you could put in fudge pieces, you could put in, Jesus, you could put in anything. Crushed up Oreos just to get that bite. I'm just going to melt some more Decomelts to do the backs on these. Go nuts, guys.
Dolores, I think, is just like doing a quick advertisement for Cake Cream. We
Yeah.
make loads of different things from it as well. Cakes, cookies, the sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. There's loads of recipes on our website for cake cream, so it's cake-cream.com. So you can check that out.
How many grams have you added in
Uh,
chocolate?
How many grams have I added in chocolate?
Not sure what that's in context for actually.
I don't know. I haven't measured. I just eyeballed it. I didn't put in exact amounts, but I was just suggesting for the filling, you could measure how much filling you put into the first one, and then once you're happy with the amount, you could just weigh out all the balls. If you're doing loads of them, it just makes it much easier.
I put champagne, jelly and strawberries in mine.
Wow, that sounds delicious. Yeah, you could put jam in it. Like you can make. You could put Nutella in it. It's a good one as well.
Very popular.
You could do lemon curd. You could do like a cake pop, a vanilla cake pop, and lemon curd. You could put any type of curd in it, really. So having a bit of fun. I'm just worried about this one. I think the heat of the chocolate might have melted the layer a bit, but we'll see how it comes out. It might just be on the back of it. Alright, we're nearly there. I cannot wait to show you these when they come out of the moulds.
Just over an hour and a half.
Doing good?
Can you put marshmallow fluff in them?
Yes, I actually was going to do that tonight, but I've run out of time. The tempering took too long tonight.
Will the recipes for the fillings be available online?
The recipes, well, for the Biscoff, I don't have an exact amount. I just eyeballed the cream cheese that went into it. And then for the cookie dough, I'm going to post it onto the Sugar Sisters Cake Chat. So if you're not a member of that, go onto our Facebook page and search, or go onto your Facebook page and search Sugar Sisters Cake Chat. And it's a group, and just request to join. And you'll be able to see my post, Emily Coyle. I'll do it on my way home, and you can check it out.
How long will it last once filled? About 5 days, was it?
Yeah.
Cream cheese?
Yeah. The cream cheese a little less, and then the cookie dough a bit longer, but I really don't think they'd last that long. Okay, so now I'm going to fill these up for their second coat. Shake, shake, shake.
And Clark has to leave now. Thank you for the live.
And thanks for staying. Make sure to check out the results.
Yeah, be able to watch it back.
Yeah.
Once this is finished up tonight.
I love filling them and then dumping out. It is very nice. Although the best part is taking them out of the moulds. So I normally find with the Decamelts 2 coats is enough, and that's not taking into account the designs that you did. If you did a thick coat for the first one, you might get away with just doing 1 coat after that. But like for the thinner designs, definitely want to do 2 additional coats on top of that. I hope I make sense. Half the time I'm pretty sure I'm just talking waffle. How's our YouTube going?
YouTube still has 9 views at the moment.
Oh, interesting.
Good, and 0 expectations for it.
Yeah.
It's gone 9, 10, 11, 12.
You gotta start somewhere.
Up and down.
I literally haven't posted on that in 2 years, so.
Gotta start somewhere.
I think be easy if you for 100 grams melted chocolate added 30 grams. I'm not sure what you mean, Alva.
I think, is that just a ratio for tempering it?
Yeah.
100 grams of melted and then add 30 grams not melted.
Maybe. I don't measure that bit. I just put in handfuls of it.
It might be 30 grams in the end, but
Yeah.
it isn't. It's just a kind of a look and a feel kind of thing.
Yeah. You have, the only way to know is by checking with your parchment.
Yeah. Because it could be more or less depending on how much you heat the chocolate up.
Exactly, yeah.
Hotter, it'll need more.
So I'm going to fill the back of these with the Decamelts just to save time.
Lynn was initially horrified when you said to cut the molds, but it's making more sense as she wants
Like,
to.
can you imagine trying to do this with
6 of
I
them
think
in.
there's actually 8 in this particular mold. It'll be a nightmare. Okay, same thing again, just scrape off any excess. It's actually easier if you use a spoon for putting in the back out of the molds. So you could fill these with your white chocolate ganache. You would just have to have all your molds ready to fill and then come back in with your white chocolate in one swoop and do all of them. And beware, like if you're doing white chocolate, the real stuff, and you've tempered it, it's going to set much quicker if your molds have been in the fridge. Because if your mix and your whole mold has been cold, it's going to set quicker. So just keep all that in mind. It's just one of those things you have to learn as you go. There's always going to be obstacles, as I'm sure most of you know by now. Anything to do with cakes, you're just constantly learning. I'm still learning. So these ones I could probably pour. That in. And everyone see okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. The weight of these.
Yeah.
They're substantial.
They look significant, yeah.
So these you don't need to turn back upside down, just leave them upright. Pour that in. I'm so messy. When I do the videos that go up on the social media, it looks really neat and tidy.
You don't see around the camera.
Well, in fairness, I am actually probably a little bit neater when I do the videos because I'm not live.
Yeah, you have a chance to go, oh wait, that's a bit messy.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier. So I'm just going to check these. Might need to pop them into the freezer. Oh no, they're set. So the ones I did my second layer on are set. So I can fill them with their filling. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And I can see that the backs of those are already setting, so that's great. So I need gloves. Thank you. Oh yeah, I got the gloves on Amazon. They're not cheap though. I think they're like
It's a pack of 100.
pack of 100, and I think it was like £10. So about €12. But because I do all the videos and stuff, and because they're pink, I had to get them.
Gonna go cook my molds right now.
Yay! Off you go. Send me a picture.
Looking at how you do it makes so much sense.
Yeah. Much easier. We learn as we go. You're always discovering new ways of doing stuff. And we actually have on the website, I should have showed you them as well. We have salted caramel, crisp pearls and fudge, stuff like that, and hazelnut crunch. Here they are. So these are incredible. So they're like crispy on the inside, it's kind of like Maltesers. Oh, and that's another thing you could do. You can make like chocolate and Rice Krispies and mix them together and fill your mold. So it'll be like a Rice Krispie treat inside. Be super nice. So these will just add a bit more crunch, and then these are hazelnuts with caramelized sugar on the outside. So good. So I'll put a few in, and it just adds a lovely different texture when you bite into it. I'm not allowed to eat any of this stuff. Andrew's going to be eating all of this.
Make sure it's all good, guys. It's alright. I take my job very seriously.
He does, yeah. You're a pro. Right, and then I'm going to put in some crisp rolls into this one. And I'm just going to fill this with this as well, because I don't know if the cookie dough will go well with the crisp rolls. You could even like get Kinder Bueno and like break up bits and put it into it if you wanted as well. Okay, and one more to go. Put some cookie dough in this one. So each mold has a different design on it, so I have to make all of them up to show you. Probably why it's taking a little bit longer than it should. But it's nice to see all the different kind of designs you can make up. So then we're just going to fill the back of these guys. This needs to be melted. I wonder, can I show you? Can we see this if I take this one out?
Which one? The white.
So this one's set. So I can't wait, so I have to show you.
Just want to get it in.
I can hold it up.
No, it's okay. Put it on now.
Ready?
Yeah.
Woo! So there's the first one.
Try and keep everything exactly on that one as you.
Okay, I'll try.
You can do like a close up.
No guarantees. So yeah, there's that one, and then let's take out this one. That one.
Yeah, perfect.
So this is our marble. So this one was the second one I did, so it was a bit more mixed. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
And then are these okay?
Just like a stone.
Yeah.
Great.
They almost don't look like they're chocolate. Okay, and then we're going to do it this big guy. Ooh! Oh my god, it's amazing. So sometimes you might get a few loose bits around here, so just break them off gently. Look at that. Cool?
Yeah. Karina O'Brien's commented as well.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you both back. I'm just finished painting my sample Valentine's Day cookies.
Ooh!
While I've been watching you.
Nice.
I can't eat any of it either because I'm doing motivation at the moment.
Yeah, same. I can just smell it.
Bottled.
You're not alone. Right, and this one. Oh my god. How cool is that one? So that's the one I drizzled the blue in and then poured the excess from the marble one I did. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Very cool.
So I'm just going to leave those ones there. And then I just need to fill the backs of these ones, and I'll show you these ones. And then we'll do a few sprinkles, bit of gold leaf. I might show you some sweet stamps. Can you actually get me some sugar paste? There should be some over there in pinks and blues. These.
What kind of blue?
Similar to what I was using. Okay, so this one was the polka dot one, so I'm super excited to see that one. Ah, yeah, whatever. Is there any red maybe as well?
Yep.
We might just get away with having enough. Okay. Oh, perfect, thank you. And our last one. Come on. We might. Yep. Just about.
Pink scraper. I don't know if there's a pink scraper there, is there?
Pink?
Might be a knife.
The,
Someone asking, do you sell that little pink scraper that you're using?
was it this?
Maybe it's just a knife, yeah.
Was it the knife?
Yeah. It's not a scraper, it's just a knife with a pink handle.
No,
I think so.
don't think we have that one in stock.
And what brushes were you using at the start for the deco melts?
So I used the Sweet Stamp Brush Duo. It's in the collection that Andrew has there.
Pinned in the comments?
Yeah, it's called. Oh, can't remember what it's called now. Can't remember. It's in the collection. It's
Yeah.
it comes with two blusher style brushes. So I'm just going to leave those set, and we can start decorating these a little bit. This isn't all in the way, is it?
No. Nicely framed.
Nice. Okay. If you could see the mess I've made,
What?
this isn't even
Yeah.
half the mess. Okay. Let's decorate these up a little bit. So I'm going to do a sweet stamp, and we're going to do some sprinkles, some gold leaf and some glitter just to bling these up a little. Just take them to the next level. I hope you guys learned something tonight and it wasn't too chaotic. Our first live in a while. Not everything goes to plan. So I'm going to melt this down just so we can do some drizzle. And you don't need a lot if you want to do a little drizzle on top. Do we have any questions?
Just everyone saying how lovely it looks. I think from the reveal of all the hearts and what they look like.
Oh god, I'm so happy with how they turned out. That's my favourite one though so far. I love the block colours. So there's a nice selection of different ones there, just for fun. So I have loads of lovely sprinkles. I'm using the Halo sprinkles. So these are the new ones by Sweet Stamp. So I have all these kind of Valentine's-y themed ones. So I'm going to play around with them. They're really, really nice medleys. And then I have these guys, which are arrows and little hearts. Then I've got some gold leaf. We might do some flecks of gold on top of these as well. Might be nice. That microwave didn't start, did it?
It's supposed to be.
Yep.
Oh, you're eating it.
I was, yeah.
Whoops.
Whoopsies.
Once you've made them, can you store them in a cake box? Or?
Yeah, I would keep them personally in the fridge if you're using the cream cheese. Yeah, I would keep both in the fridge, to be honest. I just prefer them in the fridge. But yeah, pop them in a cake box or some Tupperware will be totally fine. evenly set. Oh, nope. So I was going to try to do the Be Mine on it. I think it might be too big. Then I have these guys, the Cookie Cutter and Embossers. So these are like the, you know, the Sweetheart or the Love Heart candies. So they have I Love You, Kiss Me, XOX and all that. So I'm going to do some of them. I think that'd be lovely. Lovely jubbly. So I'm just melting down some more here so I can do a little drizzle on them. If you're doing a drizzle, just do them with Decamelts or the candy melts. Don't do them with the white chocolate unless you're going to temper it again. I just think it's too much work just to temper it for a drizzle. So with the Decamelts, you can just put it straight on, melt it down, and you can colour it, you can add in, or you can buy the pre-colours. I'll probably just do white just to keep it simple, but you can always do different colours. There. So, I think we'll do one on here. I'm just going to decide the colours. Maybe. Okay, they're nearly set as well, so we'll be ready to go on those. And this is melted, so pop it into a piping bag. So you really don't need a lot when you're doing this as well, so just a small bit. Ooh. Should do the job. So guys, let me know what you would like me to do next. Is there any particular lives that you want me to do, like chocolate dip strawberries, or what else was I thinking of doing? Maybe some buttercream flowers. We could do a cupcake bouquet. If there's anything that you want me to teach you, let me know. Right, I think I'm going to do this marble heart. Can we see this okay?
Yeah, got it closed up there as well. Which one? The one there?
Yeah, I'm going to do the big one here. So just cut, you don't need a nozzle when you do this, just cut a small bit off the top. And you can kind of test on some parchment and practice your drizzle. So you can do drizzle like straight, or you can do like circular, whichever you prefer. I'm going to do straight with this and just start off of it. And you can cover about half the mould to be loads. And then I'm going to go in with this mix. So this is, oh, don't ask me the name. Maybe if somebody's watching and they know the name, they can tell you. So I'm just going to pour into this little mould here. So with the medleys, there's like bigger ones and smaller ones, so I always just do the smaller ones first.
There is a load of comments coming in for cupcake bouquets.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
There's a hive mind going on because people are like different people commenting the same comments. Did you guys plan this? Can we rewatch the live later? Yeah. Once it's finished, it'll be up like any normal video.
Definitely can. And then I would just take with my hand the kind of bigger ones and place them on myself so I can kind of evenly spread them out. I just think it looks a bit nicer then. And I might, if I have time. So obviously your chocolate is going to start setting. So you want to have all these sort of things ready if you're doing a few of them.
I think it's like flower related for Valentine's Day, so it's cupcake bouquets and buttercream flowers.
Yeah, because on Mother's Day, everyone loves to do the cupcake bouquets.
And Valentine's Day and Mother's Day.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to stick these on. Can you try that? I think this is already set. Yeah, it's set.
Did you put that already?
Yeah, I could it, but I just couldn't open it. So, there's that lovely marble one. I might try put a bit of chocolate onto these sprinkles and stick them on because I had set. And I can do this one as well. There you go. Yes. So they have lovely little arrows, which I think are gorgeous. Okay.
When doing cake pops, how do you get the chocolate so perfectly round when you dip it in?
It's just you roll it by hand. You just have to get really good at doing it.
I think it's like the dip though, like the finish.
Yeah, you want to make
Okay,
sure
lumpy
what
as-
what you're dipping it in isn't too thick. I hope that answers your question. Maybe I'll do a live on cake pops.
I think that's what you meant, like a lumpy kind of finish.
Yeah, yeah. I think Decomelts are very good for dipping because they're a nice thin consistency. So this has lovely little arrows and little cute little hearts in it. Absolutely love this mix. It's easier to do this without gloves, but they're on. I'm not taking them off. Alright, and then you can do different colours. So they're kind of like traditional ones. So let's see this big one here. Maybe we'll do a circular pipe. So I'm literally just going around and around. Just kind of like a funkier design. And then I'm going to put these ones on. Maybe if somebody's watching they can come tell me the name of this one as well, because I don't know. I'm terrible. If anyone knows the names of the sprinkles I'm using. So it's like pink and gold, and then there's bits of black in there as well, which I think is really cool.
They're Halo sprinkles,
Well, the brand is Halo.
just for a start.
They're all on our website anyway. You can browse all the patterns there. And this one has these gorgeous gold rods, which are really, really nice. And try to get a few smaller ones.
Elsa says thanks so much, found a lot.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Punk Princess says me.
Punk Princess, thank you.
And thank your mum.
It'll take me a while to get them all. So I always pour them out into bowls or whatever because you can kind of see the mixes a bit better. And I'm going to put the sweet stamp onto that one. We'll probably be able to unmold our these guys now because they're all set. Okay, so no idea which this one is. Can we see this one okay?
Yeah. Let's see what it is. Ooh,
Oh,
the contrast between them is great, isn't it?
so
It's just
lovely.
perfectly white. And
It's like
just-
really dreamy.
looks like a video game.
Is that focused okay?
Probably holding it too close. Hold it further back. To your right.
Look, it actually blended the colours really nicely. Okay, and what have we got here? The potluck, really. So you kind of just loosen the mould if you struggle to start off with. And then, so this is the one I painted like in a swoosh. And you see the way the white comes through a little bit? So it's just a different kind of effect. All good? And then I think this is the polka dot one. I might have blurred a bit. Yeah, it did a little bit. Still lovely though. So my chocolate was just a bit too hot when I poured it in on top. Also, I could have maybe put my mould into the freezer so those were really well chilled and the chocolate I put on top wouldn't have melted them as much. See there? I'm going to have to retry that design because I really like it.
A bit more patience just to spread out your steps.
Yeah, that's it. And then this one was a kind of real dabbledy one. I really like this now, so it's a little bit lighter. So it's like this, but this one I went on really thick with the colour, and this one I just like a sponged it on almost. Okay, all good? So we've loads of different designs that we've done. So I'm just going to show you real quick the cutter and embosser. This guy here. So I haven't actually used it yet, so I'm excited to try it. So it comes with these for embossing, and then a cutter to go around it. So I think this will be too big for these guys. So they're more for like cupcakes and things like that. So I'm just going to clean away all the sprinkles here. So which is your favorite design so far? Was it the marble? Was it the polka dot? Was it this guy? This one's lovely. I almost don't want to put anything on top of that. It's so pretty. Okay, so this guy. So it comes with different ones. So I'll probably do the XO, and I'm assuming you just cut these out. So this is the first time I've used them, so bear with me. And then I think we will do maybe a blue onto this. That's a slightly darker blue, is it? No. You grab me a rolling pin there, Andrew?
Yep.
Just a small one. They should be on the left here. Small ones. So it comes with a heart cutter. Thank you. But I think, well, actually maybe we'll put it on that, will we? Oh no, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on that. Can everyone see this okay? Are we in focus? So it's nice to add a bit of text to them as well. So you can put a bit of corn flour down if it starts to stick, whereas with this board and this sugar paste, it's quite stiff, so it's good. So this is the XO, and literally it comes with a little handle, and you can push it straight in, and then you have your little XOXO. And I hope I left enough room. No, just need to roll this out a little bit. I wonder, do I have a smaller heart cutter? No, that's bigger, I think. Yeah, that'll look nice. I didn't cut the edges very well. And then we can paint that in with a little bit of the edible art. So I have some edible art gold. And we just need a really, really teeny brush. And just paint it in really carefully. You don't have to paint it in as well, like it looks quite nice just embossed. Was this in focus, Andrew? It doesn't look very in focus. I always go really quiet when I paint.
Pure concentration.
Yeah. I actually find it really easy to paint into the emboss groove. And then actually what we could do with this is do some flecks of gold, because I'm obsessed with this. It just looks gorgeous. So I had a pastry brush somewhere. Here we go. And just pour out some gold. You can make up your own paint as well. And I'm using a pastry brush that has got some nice bristles on it, and you can just flick it on it, just like that. That looks awesome. Okay, and then if we have some melted chocolate left, no. I might just use some edible glue, should stick it. So just a little bit of edible glue just to stick this heart on. And then you could do some sprinkles as well on the other side if you wanted, so that's just kind of another nice way of decorating it. Can we see that okay?
Yep.
Did anyone comment about which one was their favourite? Could put a bit of gold leaf on that, and I always like to do the glitter pump as well.
All beautiful. Love the flower design, polka dot, marble black, marble with the love hearts. Love them all.
You have to pick one,
Yeah.
guys. It's the
first
rules.
The first one with the red petals.
Yeah, so this one, I'm actually going to redo that one and make sure to get it where it doesn't melt like that, because I think it's going to be a gorgeous design. So I just want to show you then, I love to use the Sugarflair white pump, and I just give it a pump all around, and it just gives it a really nice glitter. So hopefully, sometimes it can be hard to see this in the camera. Might actually show better on a darker colour. So it's an edible glitter, and it just, you know, gives it a bit of bling. Can we see it okay?
Yeah.
And you just go to town and do them all. And actually, before you go, I'm just going to put a little bit of gold leaf on this because it really needs it. So just pop a little bit of glue down where you want it to stick. Don't put too much down because it won't stick as well. Okay. I just think the gold and the marble and the red is going to be gorgeous. Yes. So that's that with the gold. Isn't that lovely? So yeah, there's a few of them there, so you can kind of see a bit more clearly.
Lead your left.
Okay. Right, so I'll probably finish going and putting sprinkles on all these guys, but I hope you enjoyed and learned stuff. Thank you for sticking with us. And yeah, let me know if you try out the tempering with my method. Well, it's not my method, loads of people use it. It's just the one I like to use. And let me know if you get the Geo hearts as well. And you can do these with different shaped molds. We have loads of different ones. We have popsicles, which you can stick the sticks into. And then we have sphere ones as well. And what other ones do we have? Then you can just use, you know, you could temper chocolate and make up these as well. These are really popular. So they make like a little tablet. Do I have any of these made up? I don't think so. And you could just stick them on as well. Would look really, really nice. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you with our next live, whenever that might be. Might need to, you know, do a big clean up here after all this mess. And so thank you, Andrew, for helping out with the camera. And yeah, we will see you soon. And if you want to shop anything that I was using, it's in the comments in a link, so you can click that and head straight over there and browse. And yeah, thanks so much for joining in, and we will see you soon. Bye. Oh, are we still live?
No.
I was going to show them how to cut into them.
Oh, just hand it back.
Okay.